as per the number, the country will be divided. That's the plan. That is the next plan. So between March and May 1947, the Balkan decided that cabinet mission plan had become untenable and formulated an alternative plan. This plan envisaged the transfer of power to separate provinces or to confederation if formed before the transfer. Punjab and Bengal were given the option to vote for partition of their provinces. The various units thus formed along the princely states rendered would have the option of joining India and Pakistan remaining separate. Plan was quickly abandoned after Nehru reacted violently to it. You got the point. In between, what they have done, there was, it's called balkanization. And later it became a historical word in a dictionary. You got the point. Now, if you go to Oxford Dictionary and check, there is something called balkanization. Balkanization means what? Dividing the country into multiple too many fragments. Multiple too many fragments. It is clear. That danger also was happened in between immediately after the election, but it never happened. It was totally abandoned on the paper itself. The plan was abandoned on the paper itself. Okay. Now, what is another deadlock? What happened after the election result? After these results, if you see 205, Congress got vote, Muslim League got 73. And as per these particular seats, the country need to be divided. That was the discussion, and both Muslim League and Congress were accepted the plan. But in this, what happened? The highly, fertile land of Punjab in Pakistan, it got voted for Congress. You got the point? It got voted for Congress. Another one is, in Assam, there is a place called Sylhet. This place also voted for Congress. You got the point. Now, Muhammad Ali Jinnah not ready to leave the fertile land of Punjab to India. This was the scene when it happened, 1946 at the end. So, even though country got elections are over and the seats were announced and the country need to be divided as per the line, Muhammad Ali Jinnah created a deadlock again. Okay. And based on his adamant, and he was keep dragging it. So in that scenario, without achieving their task, the cabinet mission left the country. Cabinet mission plan was what? Election will be conducted, country will be divided, freedom will be handed over. That was the plan. But what happened? Election conducted, country is almost divided, but Punjab and other two places, the results were not happy with the Muhammad Ali Jinnah, and he was not ready to cooperate with the cabinet mission. And cabinet mission left the place without completing the task. It is clear. And the next, finally, the British government, they appointed another person called Lord Mountbatten. Okay, in your IAS exam, normally sometimes they'll ask, who is the most powerful viceroy appointed by the Britishers? Okay, the most powerful viceroy is this gentleman. Because what for it? Because he was given a complete freedom to take care of the issue with India. You don't need to call me back again. You just go to India. When you're coming back, India should not be there. That was a single line mandate given by the British Prime Minister to Lord Mountbatten. You got the point? You go to India, when you come back, India should not be there. You do whatever you want. So the Lord Mountbatten, what he did, he came and negotiated with both the parties, and he came to know that they are not ready to go ahead. So immediately he announced instead of results of these two places, Punjab and Sylhet, and those results will be holded back, and the people will go for the people's referendum. People's referendum will be conducted in these two places. You got the point. People's referendum means what? In a earlier voting process, the representatives will contest and the people will elect them. Some X1, Z will be contested like a normal election, what we are doing MLA and MP election, and the people might have voted, and the elected members voted for Congress and others. It is clear. Whereas here, what happened? people started voting directly whether they want to be with Pakistan or with India. Okay, so the referendum means what? The people, when the people vote for on a specific question, where you want to stay, you want to join with Pakistan or India. So these processes were conducted in the month of March, April in 1947. Luckily, the election results have come in that Punjab decided to go with Pakistan and Sylhet and Assam decided to be with India. It is clear that with the Congress and Muslim League. So now the Muslim League and Congress verdict, what you call split over one each, and both the parties were happy and they're ready to go ahead. You got the point. This is how the country got divided in the last leg of years in 1945 to 47. Finally, once the process is over, Lord Mountbatten immediately framed Government of India Act 1947. Government of India Act 1947. And the bill was hurriedly passed in a British Parliament. And the Queen signed the bill in when? July 18th, 1947. July 18th, 1947 itself, Queen signed the bill and they have declared independence to India and Pakistan. But the date was fixed, August 14th for Pakistan and August 15th for India. You got the point. But the bill was passed when? July 18th. Am I clear? So these, what do you call it, the steps you need to be thorough. The chronology of event from 1935, whatever it happened, like 1939 and 40, 42, 45, 46, 47. And when these things are going on, one more thing you need to understand, we have something called Indian National Army by Subhash Chandra Bose that we cannot forget. That we cannot forget. So Subhash Chandra Bose, what he did? He left India, mobilized the soldiers by mustering some Japanese soldiers and Indian soldiers, and he started negotiating with what do you call people, and he started attacking Singapore, which was ruled by the Britishers, and Singapore was occupied and declared independence in 1943. Keep it in your mind, by INA. By INA, Indian National Army, in 1943. Singapore was ruled by them, and we could have to snatch them away. Because what Subhash Chandra Bose's approach was, enemy's enemy is my friend. It is clear. The Britishers' enemy was Japan. You got the point. You know what happened in Second World War? Second World War, Hiroshima and Nagasaki happened against Japan by the Americans. American, UK and all in one group. So the enemy's enemy is my friend. We are enemy to Britishers. So what Subhash Chandra Bose did, my enemy is Britishers and the Britishers' enemy is Japan. So Japan must be my friend. You got the point. So he collaborated with the Japan, and Japan also observed his organization skills. They offered him the soldiers. Plus he mobilized with his own organization skill, he mobilized thousands of soldiers. And he emerged and made it as an Indian National Army. In fact, we have history that Subhash Chandra Bose met even Hitler as well in order to mobilize his support. It is clear because same concept, enemy's enemy is my friend. Because Japan, Germany and all, it's one group. UK, US and all, it's one group. You got the point. So one side, the Britishers were facing these problems also. 1943, already they have lost Singapore. And the INAs keep moving towards India. Okay, with that INA soldiers. That means they almost entered into what do you call it, northeastern states. They almost reached up to Assam. They almost reached up to Assam with Japanese forces. But by that time, what happened? Hiroshima and Nagasaki took place, 1945. When America dropped nuclear bomb against Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Japanese totally surrendered. When the Japanese surrendered, what happened? From INA, the Japanese soldiers started retreat. You got the point. From INA, the Japanese soldiers started retreat. So what happened? Almost the INA strength had become off, as well as bleed, because the weapon and other logistic supports were totally collapsed. So through that, the INA soldiers were totally got stuck, and finally later they got arrested also. They got arrested. Few soldiers got arrested, and after that, we still today we have a mystery that what happened to Subhash Chandra Bose. Okay, all those incidents are happening on the sideline from 1940 to 43, 44. Everything during the same period of Second World War. Am I clear? So this is how the things were happened, unfolded during the last leg of few years during our independence. And in order to, what do you call, mark the border, that bordering area also it was done hurriedly, because without much scientific thinking, without much scientific approach, even the India and Chinese borders were, what do you call, decided inside the boardroom, without any proper scientific survey. Okay. And India and Pakistan border also decided inside the boardroom with the help of Mountbatten and others, because they were decided for them, for the Britishers, India become too much of headache. There is no point in holding it back further. So they want to wash their hand in a hurried manner, let them face the headache. So this is how they managed, and the left us in a lurch, and they simply left. So we have a border dispute even today with China that is growing much more bigger in scale, and we have border dispute with Pakistan. The ultimate reason for that is, I can say, the Britishers' incapacity, or inglorious exist from India. That is what they have done in the last leg of few years. Otherwise, they could have done it proper manner. They have the managerial capacity to do that. That could have been done, but that was not done in the case of India due to some historical reason, like one side, like World War and other stuff. Am I clear? Any doubt in this so far? We were just hurriedly passed through 1942, 47. 7 years crashed. 7 years crashed quickly. But these timelines are, it's very, very important. This is the nutshell you need to keep it in your mind, where the things are getting connected. So if you have any queries, you can ask me. Any other queries? If you have any queries, you can ask. So here you can see the Lord Mountbatten, armed with vast powers, become India's viceroy on March 24, 1947. Rest all the things you know. So this is what I told. Indian Independence Act, 18th July 1947. This was the newspaper on August 15th, 1947. India independent, British rule ends. Constituent Assembly takes over. Mountbatten appointment as a Governor General endorsed. Colorful ceremony marks birth of nation. But all this period, where was Mahatma Gandhi? Because if you see, after 1942, he was not in a picture. You got the point. Again, we are getting the news about death of Gandhi only in 1948. You got it. So what happened in between 42 to 48? That 6 year, because Gandhiji was totally dejected in which the country was going, because his total aim was getting a freedom in a complete utter peace, not with the violence.